What would you do if your tap water stopped being safe to drink right now? Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, a boil water advisory hits your city, a pipe bursts and contaminates the supply, a hurricane knocks out the treatment plant. The standard advice is to buy bottled water. But during every major water emergency in the last decade, store shelves were stripped clean within hours. Hurricane Harvey, the Jackson, Mississippi water crisis, the East Palestine derailment. Every single time, bottled water vanished before most people even heard the warning. There is a method that turns any questionable tap water, rainwater, or stored water into safe drinking water in 30 minutes. It uses a liquid that costs $1, is already under your kitchen sink, and has been the standard emergency water purification method recommended by the CDC, the EPA, and FEMA for over 70 years. And most Americans have never been taught how to use it. The personal anchor, I started taking water purification seriously after realizing a gap in my own preparedness that embarrassed me. I had food stored for months, I had cooking systems, I had pest protection across my entire kitchen. But when I honestly asked myself what I would do if my tap water became unsafe Toro, my answer was, I'd go buy bottled water. That's not a plan, that's a hope. And hopes don't work when 200,000 other people in your city have the same hope, at the same time, and there are 50,000 gallons of bottled water on shelves that serve a population of 2 million. So I learned the method that every emergency management agency in the country recommends as the primary backup when the system fails. It took me 5 minutes to learn, it costs less than $1, and it uses something I already owned. The history. Chlorine-based water disinfection is arguably the single most important public health innovation of the 20th century. In the early 1900s, waterborne diseases, typhoid, cholera, dysentery, were among the leading causes of death in American cities. In 1908, Jersey City, New Jersey became the first municipality in the United States to add chlorine to its public water supply. Within a decade, typhoid death rates in cities with chlorinated water dropped by over 90%. The American Medical Association later called water chlorination one of the most significant public health advances of the millennium. During World War II, the U.S. military issued chlorine-based water purification tablets to every soldier in every theater of operation. Military field manuals from 1942 onward included detailed instructions for emergency water treatment using sodium hypochlorite, the active ingredient in common household bleach. These instructions were not classified. They were printed in field manuals distributed to millions of service members. After the war, the information was incorporated into civil defense manuals, Red Cross emergency guides, and eventually into the CDC and FEMA emergency preparedness recommendations that exist today. The method has been publicly available for over 70 years. It is printed on the FEMA website right now. It is in every Red Cross disaster preparedness guide. And yet, when I ask people how to purify water in an emergency, the overwhelming majority say they don't know, not because it was hidden, because nobody teaches practical survival skills anymore. Schools don't. Parents don't. The assumption is that the system will always work, until it doesn't. Engagement checkpoint. Number 1. Look under your kitchen sink right now. Do you have a bottle of regular unscented liquid bleach? If yes, you already own the most effective emergency water purifier available to a civilian. You just haven't been taught how to use it. If no, it costs 89 cents to $1.50 at any grocery store. One bottle treats over 3,000 gallons of water. Here's the science, then the exact method. The science. Sodium hypochlorite, the active ingredient in household bleach, is a powerful oxidizing agent. When added to water, it dissociates into hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions. Hypochlorous acid is the primary disinfecting agent. It penetrates the cell walls of bacteria, viruses, and protozoa and destroys their internal enzymes and DNA. It kills E. coli, Salmonella, Vibrio cholerae, hepatitis A, norovirus, rotavirus, and the vast majority of waterborne pathogens that cause human disease. A single drop of regular household bleach contains enough sodium hypochlorite to kill over 99.9% of bacteria in 1 liter of clear water within 30 minutes. The CDC specifies 8 drops of regular unscented 6% sodium hypochlorite bleach per gallon of clear water, or 6 drops per gallon if the bleach concentration is 8.25%. After adding the bleach, stir the water and let it stand for 30 minutes. If the water does not have a slight chlorine smell after 30 minutes, repeat the dosage and wait another 15 minutes. That slight chlorine smell is your confirmation that there is residual disinfectant in the water, meaning all the pathogens have been neutralized and there's still active chlorine left over. That is exactly what you want. This is the same chemistry that treats every municipal water supply in the United States. The same molecule, the same mechanism, the same kill rate. The only difference is scale. Your city water plant adds chlorine by the ton. You're adding it by the drop. the concentration used for emergency purification, roughly 2 parts per million after treatment, is within the EPA's safe drinking water limits and is comparable to what comes out of your tap on a normal day. You are not adding anything to the water that your water utility doesn't already add every day. Engagement checkpoint. 2. 8 drops per gallon, 30 minutes of wait time. That's the difference between safe water and dangerous water during every emergency that has ever disrupted an American water supply. Now let me give you the complete method with every detail you need to do this correctly. The complete method. Step 1. Get the right bleach. Regular unscented liquid household bleach. The label must say sodium hypochlorite at either 6% or 8.25% concentration. Do not use scented bleach. Do not use color-safe bleach. Do not use bleach with added cleaners, surfactants, or thickening agents. These additives are not safe for drinking water. Regular unscented only. Clorox Regular Great Value Bleach and most store-brand regular bleach products are suitable. Check the active ingredient on the back label. A standard 121-ounce bottle costs $3 to $5. That single bottle contains enough bleach to purify over 3,800 gallons of water. Your per-gallon purification cost is less than 1/10 of a cent. Important. Bleach loses potency over time. An unopened bottle stored in a cool, dark place has a shelf life of about 12 months. After opening, use within 6 months for reliable disinfection strength. If you're storing bleach for emergencies, rotate it annually. Write the purchase date on the bottle. Step 2. Start with the clearest water available. If the water is visibly cloudy, murky, or contains particles, filter it first through a clean cloth, a coffee filter, or a cotton t-shirt. Fold the fabric over several times and pour the water through it into a clean container. This pre-filtering does not purify the water. It removes sediment and debris that can shield bacteria from the chlorine. Chlorine needs direct contact with pathogens to kill them. Particles in the water create hiding spots where bacteria survive. If the water is clear to begin with, tap water during a boil advisory, stored rainwater, water from a known source, skip this step. Step 3. Add bleach. For 6% sodium hypochlorite bleach, add 8 drops per gallon of water. For 8.25% sodium hypochlorite bleach, add 6 drops per gallon. If you don't have a dropper, a standard medicine dropper produces the right size drop. In a pinch, dip a fork into the bleach and let the drops fall from the tines. Each drop is approximately the right volume. For smaller quantities, 2 drops per liter or per quart. For larger quantities, half a teaspoon per 5 gallons. If the water is cloudy, even after filtering, double the dose. 16 drops per gallon for 6% bleach, 12 drops for 8.25%. Step 4. Stir and wait. Stir the water thoroughly to distribute the bleach evenly. If you're treating a closed container, cap it and shake it for 30 seconds. Let the water stand for 30 minutes at room temperature. If the water is cold, below 60 degrees, extend the wait to 60 minutes. Chlorine disinfection is slower in cold water. Step 5. The smell test. After 30 minutes, open the container and smell the water. It should have a faint chlorine odor, like a swimming pool, but much milder. If you detect a slight chlorine smell, the water is safe to drink. The residual chlorine confirms that all pathogens have been neutralized. If you do not smell chlorine, repeat the dosage. Add the same number of drops again, stir, and wait another 15 minutes, then smell again. If there's still no chlorine odor after the second dose, the water may have a very high contaminant load and should be boiled if possible, in addition to chlorine treatment. Step 6. Aerate if the taste bothers you. If the chlorine taste is too strong for you, pour the water back and forth between 2 clean containers 6 to 8 times. The agitation exposes the water to air and allows excess chlorine to evaporate. Within a few minutes, the taste mellows to the level of normal tap water. Total cost, less than 1/10 of a cent per gallon. Total time, 30 seconds of active work plus 30 minutes of passive wait time. Total equipment needed, a bottle of bleach and a clean container. Honest limits. Bleach is the most accessible and effective emergency water disinfectant for civilians. But it has real limits you need to know. Limit 1. Bleach does not remove chemical contaminants. Chlorine kills biological pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and most protozoa. It does not remove lead, arsenic, mercury, pesticides, petroleum products, or industrial chemicals. If your water is contaminated by a chemical spill, like the East Palestine train derailment, bleach will not make it safe. You need activated carbon filtration or distillation for chemical contamination. Different problem, different solution. Limit 2. Bleach is less effective against Cryptosporidium. Cryptosporidium parvum is a protozoan parasite with an extremely resistant outer shell. Standard chlorine treatment at household concentrations does not reliably kill Cryptosporidium cysts. If Cryptosporidium contamination is suspected, boil the water for 1 minute at a rolling boil. Boiling kills cryptosporidium with 100% reliability. Use bleach as a secondary treatment after boiling to maintain residual disinfection during storage. Limit 3. Bleach expires. Sodium hypochlorite degrades over time, especially in heat and sunlight. An old bottle of bleach may not have sufficient active chlorine to disinfect water. If your bleach is over 12 months old, the smell test after treatment becomes even more important. No chlorine smell after 30 minutes means the bleach is too degraded to be reliable. Replace it. Limit 4. This does not replace long-term water storage. Bleach purification turns questionable water into safe water on demand. But you still need water to purify. FEMA recommends storing 1 gallon of water per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. A family of 4 needs at least 12 gallons stored at all times. Bleach is your backup for when stored water runs out or when you need to treat water from an alternative source. It is not a substitute for having water on hand. Proof plus integration. I keep a dedicated bottle of regular unscented bleach in my emergency supplies. I write the purchase date on it and replace it every 12 months. I also keep a small laminated card with the dosage chart taped to the bottle so I don't have to remember the numbers during an actual emergency. I've tested this method on rainwater collected from my gutter downspout. Pre-filtered through a coffee filter, treated with 8 drops per gallon, waited 30 minutes. Faint chlorine smell confirmed. Water tasted identical to regular tap water after aerating. For anyone building a prepping system from this channel, here is where water purification fits in the stack. Your pantry has preserved grain protected by diatomaceous earth. Cheese and olive oil, eggs and lime water if you've watched that video. Your kitchen has pest defenses at every layer. Cloves, cinnamon, bay leaves, steel wool. Your cooking is covered with a $5 rocket stove that runs on sticks. Your fire is covered with petroleum jelly cotton ball starters. Water was the gap. This fills it. 1 bottle of bleach, 89 cents. Over 3,000 gallons of safe drinking water on demand. Your preparedness system just became complete. The close? In 1908, Jersey City added chlorine to its water supply and typhoid death rates dropped 90% in a decade. In 1942, the U.S. military issued chlorine tablets to every soldier crossing oceans to fight a world war. In 2023, the CDC still lists household bleach as the primary emergency water purification method for American civilians. The same molecule, the same chemistry, the same result. 115 years of proven life-saving water treatment. Available under your kitchen sink for 89 cents. Light drops per gallon. 30 minutes. Safe water. Buy a bottle of regular unscented bleach this week. Write today's date on it. Put it with your emergency supplies. Tape the dosage to the side. That's 5 minutes of prep that could keep your family hydrated through any water emergency that hits your city. Next week, I'm showing you the $2 Depression-era method that preserves eggs for up to 2 years without refrigeration. Protein storage is the biggest gap in most home food supplies. That video closes it for 3 cents per egg. If this filled a gap in your emergency plan, send it to one person who has never thought about what happens when the tap stops being safe. That conversation could matter more than any other link you've ever shared. See you in the next one.